I mean, look, let's again, I heard a little earlier people talking about gaining some perspective. So yes, the SOX is down, whatever it is this week. We're back to where we were 2 weeks ago, right? So I mean, I do want to have some of that. And the SOX overall is up, I don't know, 15, 16, 17% year to date. It's up probably 50 or 60% off the March 12th. So like things are still like going okay from that standpoint. I do think that there are, look, if you look at the industry as a whole, actually things have proven to be fairly resilient in the wake of a global pandemic. And again, it's some of this work from home and other dynamics. There's also some worries broadly that maybe some of the strong demand we're seeing is not true demand, but rather pull forward or inventory building in the face of supply chain uncertainty. And that is all possible. But in the grand scheme of things, for semis, this does not look, for example, to be like the financial crisis. Things have been quite resilient. And in that regime, I think there's one more piece that's important, which is everything we're seeing right now is showing just the raw importance of technology in terms of contributing to society. Like I couldn't imagine working and doing something like this had the pandemic hit 20 years ago. And it's showing just in general the importance of tech, and I think by proxy semiconductors, and that's one reason things have held in, even with the correction that we've had this week.
So let's talk about a couple of your favorite names in the space, which I would say are most people's favorites. But let's talk about why and how much kind of room they have to run. So Qualcomm, NVIDIA, and BROADCOM. Now, BROADCOM just had those strong earnings. A lot of people like it because of the Apple and the 5G exposure. But if I know that story, does that mean everyone knows it?
Yes and no. So Broadcom's got some other characteristics. It's not just the Apple and the 5G story. That is a good piece that's driving the growth into next quarter. They've also still got some fairly strong demand on the cloud and telco front. Obviously, that is going to be the concern. Again, you get back to that point of like, is it sustainable or not? But for now, their visibility seems to be okay. That's holding in, and obviously you get the Apple strength. Broadcom is also very, very cheap. So again, if you're worried about valuations, Broadcom is not in that camp. It's very cheap. It's got a very good dividend. The dividend is likely to grow next year. And we're likely to see further use of cash deployed next year to drive shareholder value because they brought the leverage down either through buybacks or through M&A, further M&A next year. So we like Broadcom from that standpoint, both the near-term kind of demand upside as well as like the broader structural case around use of cash and valuation.
So then finally, let's talk about NVIDIA, which I think is up 120% year to date. I mean, at least through yesterday or the day before. So an incredible run. Is it justified? And is there a reason for investors to buy this stock today versus looking for a deeper pullback?
Yeah, and look, I'll be honest, I don't know what's going to happen with any of these stocks over the next 6 months. Again, there's a lot of uncertainty around the pandemic and the economy and the election and everything else. But NVIDIA is one of those that I do think investors want to own. And again, if you're looking for secular stories that you'd want to own, through this, like there are no non-apocalyptic reasons why demand for NVIDIA's products, 3 years out should be structurally lower than today. It should be higher, quite a bit higher. We're also at the very beginning of two distinct product cycles for NVIDIA, data center and gaming. They're both going, they're just at the beginning, so they're just starting. They're both going strongly. They had the gaming announcement a couple of days ago. Gaming looks like it's going to be a monster this year. The worry about NVIDIA is that it is expensive and it will be frothy because of that. But in tech, you never sell anything just because it's expensive, just like you never buy anything just because it's cheap. You have to wait for a narrative change. And I wouldn't say that the narrative on NVIDIA is changing at all. If anything, it's getting stronger. So yeah, we like it here.